G'day guys, Brendan here from On Point. Today down on this magnificent beach, I'm going to show you how to tie a very basic drone rig, and probably the rig that I would recommend you must know before you even start flying your craft. This is a rig that isn't as complicated as like your pulley rigs and so forth, but it's a rig that catches a lot of fish, which I'll show you in a few clips in a second of us using this exact rig and getting results. But what are we going to need? We're going to need 80-pound Berkeley Vanish leader, or any 80-pound will be fine. We just use Vanish. You're going to need 15-kilo monofilament. Any mono is going to do, because this is really your throwaway stuff. I'll explain why soon. This is trilene. I'm using 7.0 owner circle hooks. When it comes to droning, I love owner because they're a finer gauge. They are ridiculously sharp and the points don't fold over like some of your thicker gauged hooks, and they don't straighten out. You're going to need a little tiny float like this, which we just picked up from BCF, 2 tri-crane swivels like that, and of course a bead, and then just some basic tools to help get you through it. In my case, I'm just going to use a set of Berkeley scissors, but any of the new Penn saltwater range tools are going to be fantastic for it. So you're probably thinking, what about the sinker? The sinker is going to be any sinker you want it to be, so long as it's a grapnel, anywhere from 4 ounces up to, I mean, the heaviest I go is 7. However, I do know someone who loves their 4-ounce sinkers. Reckons they're just the best. So there you go, anywhere from there to there will get you going. Let's get on with the rig. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of the rig with one of your tri-crane swivels, and straight under your tri-crane swivel, okay, to the bottom of that tri-crane, we're going to tie some 80-pound leader. Now we're going to tie about, it's going to be about 50 odd centimeters of this leader to that, okay, and this is going to separate our hooks from our dropper loop. Okay, that's the main purpose of what we're doing here. And the second one will go straight to the top of that swivel there. Now don't stress if you can't follow on with me here, guys, because I will have a diagram at the end of this video which will run you through absolutely everything again with a little bit of a voiceover if I'm lucky, and that'll just help explain the rig again if you don't follow through, because this is kind of boring while I'm tying a lot of knots. Okay. So to start off with, we've got the top of the rig, which is the tri-crane, 60 odd centimeters down to another tri-crane swivel. Okay, then what we're going to do, which we won't show on this video, is the purpose of this top tri-crane swivel with this little fella hanging off the side here, is that's where we're going to tie our 30 centimeter dropper loop to attach to the drone. So the main line's going to go off this top one, dropper loop off this one. Now don't stress if you're not getting it, because as I said, we will definitely be putting a diagram at the end. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is the snell. Now on my videos previous, you'll be able to go find a simple way to tie a snell. It's super quick and easy. So yeah, just go back and have a look there if you need to learn how to tie a snell. We're going to get roughly 50 centimeters again leader here. Now that's going to be significantly shortened by the time I've finished tying these knots. As I said, just a simple snell. So on the bottom hook, I usually just do a 3-turn uni, okay, which is there. And always lube up, boys. Causes less friction, get better results, and keeps everyone a lot happier. Okay, now between these 2 hooks there's going to be 10 centimeters of line roughly. Now the reason I leave a little bit more on these is because if I'm fishing bigger baits, then I can with this rig. Whereas if I want to fish small baits, don't use your teeth, kids. If you want to fish small baits, you can just tidy that line up with a bit of ghost cotton, which you should be using anyway. I don't necessarily use ghost cotton to keep the bait on, more to keep the hooks a lot more proud. Now, on top of these hooks, we're going to slide down that bead we had, and on top of that, here goes the little secret float. Now this secret float, I have to say, was not my idea. It was actually a friend of mine, Peter Fullerton from Peter Fullerton's Fishing. He's on YouTube, I'll put a link down below, but he came up with this idea. And I tell you what, this converts snapper. It's that simple. I don't know whether they're trying to attack the red top or whatever, but what it also does is it also minimizes a massive amount of snags, because your bait is sitting so high and proud in the water, it's not down mushing up with the weed or the reef. I also think that it prevents a heck of a lot more stingrays. I mean, since using this float rig, touch wood, I have not got one stingray. Not one stingray. So, I reckon the float idea is a bloody good one. So thanks for that, Pete. So we pull that tight there, should have lubed it. You know the drill anyway. So that's now on the bottom. As I said, I'm going to draw a diagram so don't stress out. Top tri-crane, down to your second tri-crane, off the side there we go up to our hooks. Now where does the 15 kilo mono come in? We're going to use 15 kilo mono once again, guys. What it does is it enables, if the sinker gets snagged on the way in, which it does a lot, the 15 kilo mono is going to break far before my 50 pound braid that I'm using or my 80 pounds trace. Now I'm not going to tie this mono on because this is the way I pack my rigs, just as simple as what I've just showed you. But what we do is we tie the blue mono or the 15 kilo mono onto the bottom underneath the hooks. That goes down to your sinker, about 5 to 6 meters of that, and then you want your grapnel sinker on the end of that. So anyway, guys, let's quickly roll this, I guess, diagram of the rig, okay, with a bit of a voiceover explaining the rig once again, but it'll give you a bit of a graphic on exactly what it's going to do.
So as you see here, we have our grapnel sinker at the end there. That's attached to that 6 meters of 30 pound or less mono, coming up to the tri-crane swivel with the 80 pound leader onto the 7/0 snelled circles with the float. We've got that short space in between the two tri-cranes and the dropper loop there of 80 pounds.
So there it is, guys, the diagram on the basic drone fishing rig. What I'm going to do now is I'm quickly going to roll some clips of us using this exact rig, catching some snapper. There might even be a few little, little drop clips in there so you can see the rig dropping into the water and then it'll space out and you can see how well it works. So let's roll these clips now and check it out. Woohoo! Guys, first day drone fishing back and we've just had a great hookup. It's got to be a snapper, I think, on the Prevail Apex, Fathom 2. Here we go. I don't think it's that big, but it's still a fish. And here it is, guys. A beautiful, legal little snapper. Now that drop there, he was probably 180 meters off, but as I said, a lovely little snapper. And there we have it, guys, the rig working, the rig tutorial, as well as the diagram. I hope this rig making video was a little more suitable because I've had a bit of criticism that apparently I don't describe stuff well enough, or I'm too quick, or I'm this or I'm that. So by putting that diagram in, we're all a winner. Righto, let's get to fishing. See you later.